looking at Siyam as a prescription that remedies you and awakens you to that state of taqwa, being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that the Quran may work its wonders inside of you. Because Allah Azza wa Jal said this is a book in which there is no doubt. Hudan lil muttaqeen. It is guidance for the people of taqwa. And so that is the beautiful relationship between fasting and Quran, and the beautiful cycle. The more fasting you do, the more taqwa you have, the more you benefit from the Quran, and it continues that way. One of the signs that a person has purged many of these ills from their heart and they're closer to being more and more people of taqwa is that when they deal with Allah, they are detached from His creation. Ma'allahi bila khalq. And when they deal with Allah's creation, ma'al khalqi bila nafs, the scholars say. When they deal with the creation, they are detached from their own egos. They're like a third party. It's not like, conflict of interest, me versus you. It's not like that at all. And the early Muslims used to do this so well that one of the best ways to measure your taqwa, your progress in this month of developing, inculcating, growing your taqwa, is by hearing and reading about their lives. Today I was reading the biography of Ibrahim ibn Adham, rahimahullah. It was one of the great zuhad, people that were very known for their detachment from this world, their devout worship. He used to benefit so much from the cycle we're talking about that he wouldn't just do it in Ramadan. He would fast every single day of the year, of course, with the exception of the days that are haram to fast, like Eid. And he would hardly ever sleep at night. He would always spend his nights with the Quran. And you see as a result of that, such wisdom, such strength, and such selflessness, like absence of the ego. One example is that he used to be fasting every single day, and people would ask him, are you fasting? Like even today, you're still fasting? People would ask him, are you fasting? And he would tell people, look at, people talk about being self-aware nowadays. Look at how self-aware he is. The insight Allah gave him, the disclosures Allah would give him, by virtue of that light, that taqwa that it has its light on in his heart. He used to say, don't ask anyone if they're fasting. Obviously outside of Ramadan. He says, don't ask anyone if they're fasting, because if they are, they will become happy to tell you, yes I am, right? And if they're not fasting, they will become sad that they couldn't tell you, yes I am. And both of those are signs that you're looking to show off to the people. Meaning both of those compromise your sincerity. Fasting is all about sincerity, right? Subconsciously it awakens you to Allah and dealing with Allah. 1 minute left, I can still eat, right? Suhoor. 1 minute left, I can't eat yet till iftar. What does that do? That is a sign of sincerity. You're looking at the clock, not looking at people's eyes, because Allah set those times, right? So he would say, don't ask people if they're fasting. He used to also say, of the signs of his strength, he would tell people, strengthen your deen, meaning your taqwa, so that you will have no need for the kings. I don't need anyone's approval, I don't need anyone's support, I have Allah. He says, and don't be like the kings who thought they had no need for deen. If you have a need for deen and develop it, detached from the creation, not wanting to serve the creation, and able to see his way through that cobweb of our, ulterior motives inside of us. But with regards to being, when he's dealing with people, he has no ego. I'll recall just two stories that I made a mental note to share with you from today's reading. One of them is that as he was walking once, around 5 minutes, I have 3 minutes. A Jewish man just tried to provoke him. And this shows you, by the way, there was discourse between the Muslims and the non-Muslims, and this was normal. They were coexisting in society, but he just, wished to poke him. And he said to him, "Oh, Imam, is this dog's tail more pure, or is your beard more pure?" Like the dog's always licking his tail, cleans it real well and stuff. And you Muslims think dogs are dirty. So, what's more pure? Who washes their hair more? You, your beard, or the dog, his tail? Of course, if you're in that situation, imagine how you would react. But he reacted without ego. He reacted in a way that was even a reminder for this person that was pretty clearly trying to be disrespectful. He said to him, if this beard winds up in paradise, I can't say right now. If it winds up in paradise, then it's better than your dog's tail. And if this beard winds up in the fire, then your dog's tail is better. It will not wind up in the fire. So what did the Jewish man say? He said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. He became Muslim and said, Wallahi ma hadihi illa akhlaqul anbiya. This is only the character, this egoless character of the prophets. And the more iman you have, the more taqwa you have, the better your character. The other example, when he was once outside of the city, he was just out in the open, the barren deserts. He intersected, just came across, was met by a soldier, tall guy, army, weapons, short temper, those kind of people. Not all of them are like that. But you can imagine, a warrior is not a gentle person generally because it's hard to live two lives. That's what was so amazing about our Prophet ﷺ. He was the most courageous warrior, yet the most gentle human being, alayhi salatu wassalam. So anyway, he met this soldier, and the soldier was asking him which way is the city. So he said to him, Ayn al-Umran. Umran could mean buildings, but Umran also means developments, to develop something. So to develop a place, not the desert, the city. So Ibrahim, always thinking to help people, he wanted to give him a reminder as well, rahimahullah. So he pointed at the graveyards, because the cities crumble. The graveyards is where you really build, right? So he pointed at the graveyards. So the guy thought he was trying to be a wise guy, and so he smacked him on top of his head, and he gashed him. He was bleeding. When he got to the city and news got around, the people ran at him, well, you're crazy. This is Ibrahim Adham. This is the great Imam, student of Sufyan al-Thawri, student of Fulayl ibn Iyad. Like, how could you do this? So he ran to him and he said to him, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, and so on and so forth. He tried to apologize. So Ibrahim Adham, rahimahullah, said, I have 30 seconds. Ibrahim Adham, rahimahullah, said, when you struck me, I asked Allah to give you Jannah. Why? He said, because I knew I would be rewarded for this injury. And so I didn't want to get good because of you, the reward. And then you get tormented because of me. Because I, pushed your buttons and made you advise you at an inappropriate time. Selfless, right? Being with Allah without creation. And dealing with creation without your ego. Let that be a measuring stick for you as this month progresses. May Allah help us and you climb the taqwa ladder. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.